Kim Burrell is somebody who's not on my normal radar, so when I saw that she was getting severely dragged or receiving a lot of attention, of course I just kind of started paying attention myself. But evidently, she was at a sermon and said some quote unquote controversial stuff, which after I heard everything that she had to say, I thought to myself, what was so darn controversial about it, and who the heck is dragging her for saying such stuff? Of course, these are the same bitter women that are dragging her for telling the truth. The same advice that she's given you, how long have you been broke? Are the same questions that a lot of single mothers need to ask these men before you go laying up with them and become a single mother or mother 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. These are the same types of information that a lot of people would give you and want you to know about before you just go and start shacking up with somebody. If you are with somebody that has accumulated a lot of debt, that would suggest that they're not very responsible. Why would you want that person in your life? Just because they can make you moan and groan real good? And that's probably not even being done protected? These are things we have to start thinking about here, about our selection of our partners. You need to ask the proper questions. Not necessarily on the first date, but somewhere within 2 or 3 weeks if stuff is going really good for you. Again, the people that are saying that this is toxic, this is mean, this is controversial, she needs to apologize and crawl into a hole. She should have never apologized for what she said. She should have stand on her firm 2 feet. And even with the apology, so-called apology that she gave, it wasn't all that great either. I know personally I would have stood in that and said, prove me wrong. Nobody would have been able to prove her wrong on any of the stuff that she said. And there are other people, I'm glad, that are coming to her defense and saying, look, you guys need to check yourself and how well your closet looks. She's actually giving you the same advice your mama and your daddy should have given you before you laid up with Mr. Wonderful, who is now turned into Mr. Pitiful, and won't be there for your child's prom. But yet, you want to kill the messenger for the message when you doing the same thing, or friends of yours that are doing the same thing. And this is not just something for men. For women, it's for men also. It's for both sex. You need to find out about that person before you start really investing in them, because then you might find out this is not exactly the person I need to be around with, because they are not good for me for several different reasons. They are not responsible. They don't keep their business straight. So if they're not doing it for themselves and they're alone, how the hell are they going to do that with you? And here you are pumping out kids for them and not even married. Yes, I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to stand on that too. And then you want to know why he's not treating you like a wife or a husband when you haven't even put a ring on it, and make them be responsible. So kudos for her to say these things. I feel bad that she felt the need to have to even submit an apology or respond to the quote-unquote backlash. I would have stood right in it and say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. That's the part that no one seems to know how to do when you can look at the birth rate of children these days. A lot of them are born out of wedlock. Why? Because of the bad decisions that are made by the parents. So, this is one to grow on, one to think on, and please let me know what you think in the bottom. Conservative Life on Mars. We are living in a strange world these days. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tap that bell so you know when I'm going to create some new content.